Hello everyone, it's Red with RedDragonLeo.com, and before we go over the charts, let's go over this missile story about what's going on. That the missile that was fired, mystery missile, launched off the coast of California. CBS News picked it up. Cameraman in a helicopter was able to film it. As you can see here, the picture of it, and Zero Hedge is also on it. There's a little bit bigger picture, and they say they can't explain it. Of course they can't explain it because they launched it. And when I'm saying they, I mean the Federal Reserve, Nazi cabal criminals, the gangsters, the Ben Bernanke, Obama, Bush, all the gangsters, all the Illuminati members, they're all part of it. And what makes you think, that this is anything less than exactly what I have been talking about and what others have been talking about? That these Federal Reserve Board gangster Nazi bastards are trying to cause a huge disaster, a nuclear bomb, and they're trying to set it off. Possibly this one was a dud, or possibly some good guys were able to intercept it and shut it down, so maybe it just crashed out into the sea somewhere. I don't know. Maybe it was meant to go off and just didn't go off. I was able to find Benjamin Fulford's latest, and I'll read it to you, but basically here it says, red alert for a new criminally insane move by the satanic Federal Reserve Board. Multiple reliable sources are warning of an extremely horrifying act by the criminally insane cabal behind the soon-to-be bankrupt Federal Reserve Board, possibly November 11th, 2010, or 11/9/2010. So no, well, that was today. Well, they fired that off today, and it didn't go off. So, that's a good thing. Maybe, there was some good guys that were able to neutralize it or something. I don't know. And maybe it was supposed to go off. But I was able to find this by Ben Fulford's. It's not on the regular site, but it's here on this rents.com. You can just, copy and paste this if you want to go read it or something, or pause this and read the entire thing. I'll scroll down for you. But it's pretty coincidental, as we know, that Obama left the country. Hillary is out of the country. She's in New Zealand. And Prime Minister Netanyahu is visiting Houston, Texas. It's just, it said the last time the Federal Reserve Board crime syndicate was the target of a major corruption investigation was on the eve of September 11th, 2001. And we all know the horrors that they committed to postpone the inevitable date with destiny, meaning that they're going to be shut down, arrested, and held accountable for their crimes. And hopefully they'll just be publicly hung, and that'll make me happy. Probably a lot of other people. I watched a bunch of videos from Colleen, the pretty blonde lady that says that she has multiple contact with the Palladians, which are the humanoid-looking aliens that are here to help us. And according to her, that the reptilians are in all the powerful walks of life, and they pretty much make up the Illuminati. And I don't know. I won't deny that no one really knows for sure. I do know those people are evil, and there's a lot of references in the Bible about demons and stuff. Well, why can't the demons be reptilian aliens? That'll eventually be cast out into outer darkness. So, outer darkness is where? Space. So, regardless of what they are, who they are evil people. And they're talking about setting off HARP, which is the array of satellite, or not satellites, but of dishes, satellite dishes, huge satellite dishes up there in Alaska that they pointed up into the sky and send low frequency sounds up there. It bounces off the ionosphere and comes back down and to whatever target they want to aim it at, and it basically is like a microwave oven works. It just basically fries whatever it's trying to do, shakes the ground. If it's aimed at dirt or rock or whatever, it'll break it apart. If it's aimed at the crust of a volcanic, it'll cause a volcano to erupt, or it's just like a microwave. Essentially, is what it is. So, but reading this right here basically said that these guys were planning to do something horrible, and we know that something is up. We're hoping that it gets stopped. Obama leaving with 3,000 staff members and family members. We all know. I've talked about that. That's out there. Along with 34 warships. It's just never been done before in history. So, this tells you that they know what's going on because they're planning it and they're trying to make it happen. So, I hope that was the nuclear bomb on that particular missile that was shot off, and that it failed, and that some forces of good guys managed to stop it, that it just probably, I guess, crashed into the ocean harmless. That would be, my guess as to what happened. Hopefully that it was supposed to happen today, and that's it, and there's no more. And it won't happen on the 11th, which is Thursday. So, this is some scary stuff, folks. It's everything that I've been posting on the blog. I mean, it hasn't affected the stock market yet, although the stock market did sell off a little bit today. And I was a little bit surprised on that. I did think that we would roll back up right here, but I guess they just wanted to sell it off a little bit more. But now we're getting pretty oversold here on the 60-minute chart, so it should roll back up tomorrow, unless something does happen to really spook the market tomorrow. I would say we should try to retrace some of this. This is still a bull flag. It's kind of weak now, and it did put in a bottoming tail, and we are at some support. Besides this channel, we can look here on the daily. Well, it's not quite yet on support. I guess it could go down a little bit more before it turns back up tomorrow, assuming that it bounces off this trend line here and tries to go back up. But let's keep in mind here on the daily chart, it did put in a lower histogram tower bar. So, this could be the move we're waiting for. It's so hard to tell because this market is so heavily manipulated. Back here, when the market was heading down, at this point right here in October, we were churning along sideways. We finally had a nice down day here. It looked like we were ready to go into negative territory. Everything was turning down. Here was turning down. Full stochastics was way overbought, getting ready to turn down. At that point, the market should have sold off. It should have went down here and corrected, and went down at least to that fake print of 106 on the SPY, which would have been 1060 area here. It should have done that. It did not do that. They manipulated it higher. They kept putting in these light volume days. They couldn't get nothing out of it. They told all their buddies, don't sell, don't sell. So the big institutions held on. They didn't sell. And they just keep pumping it up, up, up. And every time it looks like it's ready to roll over, it doesn't. They just keep manipulating it. The charts clearly have been manipulated. There was every indication at this time period. There was extreme readings on bullish percentage. The put to call ratio was basically very low puts and very high on the calls, and it was just. And then the same thing here, and basically they worked it all off to where they could turn it and run it back up, and they just chop, 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 chop. all this garbage in here. This is insane. You just don't see this kind of stuff on a normal market. But I don't think we've had a normal market in the last 2 years since they've just turned on the printing press full steam. You know, they've got 100% control of this. Now, I believe the markets have always been manipulated, but not to this extreme. I think they are totally in control of it right now, and they are trying to get up there to that fake print of 118.16. I don't know whether or not they're going to succeed, because if they're trying to set a nuclear bomb off, it ain't going to get there, especially if they're set off Thursday. So, and sending that missile up like that and it not blowing up, that's a telltale sign that something is happening, folks. I mean, this is the real deal. I mean, so whether or not it turns here, bounces off this trend line and runs back up from the and then kind of, you know, maybe just kind of slowly works its way down, kind of like what it did here, is unknown. Depends on the time, how much time they got left. It looks to me like they're running out of time, and they might not make it to that fake print. You know, they haven't failed yet on the fake prints, but maybe they will fail this time. It's just my opinion that once this thing goes down, we're not going to see 11,800 in a while. It's not going to be anytime soon. So that's why I really think that they're trying to get it up to that point before they tank it. Whether or not they succeed or not, I don't know. Maybe they fail this time. This is certainly oversold here, at least on the histogram towers. But here on the MACD, it is not oversold. It could still go down, and the same height it is here of +8, it could go to -8. So it's still got a ways to go there. And then here with the full stochastics, it could just kind of, you know, chop around this bottom area right here and stay down here for a while. But for all that to happen, this trend line's got to break. This trend line's got to break. This 1195 area has got to break. We got to break that trend line, and you know, a nuclear bomb, that'll do it. That'll do it. Let's hope that that was it, and that they failed, and that it won't do that. I hope that it does not do that. I'd like to see just a normal correction, not a huge crash that's going to cost millions of lives because of these gangsters. I really don't want to see that. So I'd love to be wrong on the call for a nuclear bomb going off. I hope that there was a nuke in that and it failed. It got stopped by some good guys. I don't know how they did it, but you know, who knows. But I hope that that's what the situation was. Anyway, looking at the charts again, as I said yesterday, I thought we would roll back up, and we did not. It looked in the morning like, you know, we were going to, but then they just kept selling off. Basically, it chopped sideways most of the, or no, it didn't. I'm sorry. This is today. Just kind of slowly worked its way down. It didn't look like it was any big heavy selling or anything like that. It was still kind of light volume for the day. It wasn't over 200 million. I think it was 150, 160 million or something like that. So it looked like it was pretty well controlled, not what you'd call a panic sell. So, you know, as for tomorrow, well, it still does technically have a little bit further to go down. So if the 30-minute goes down and finally rolls back up, you know, this will chop around down in this territory, and the same thing here on the 60. If it takes a while to go down, it can go down a little bit more. Could go down and hit this trend line. At that point, there's your break point. Do we turn at that point and run back up and go for the fake print, 11,800? If so, I don't see it happening by the end of the week. I think that's going to take it into next week. And if they're going to try to set off a nuke or try to crash the market, then I don't think they're going to get. I don't think they're going to have enough time to get it up there that high. So, but as everyone knows, I did take a short position, 50% short position on Friday. So I'll wait for the other print to be hit to take the other 50%. If it doesn't get hit, then I'll be happy with the 50% short I got. And if it goes ahead and tanks, then you know, so be it. Let's just hope it's not a false flag event. Let's just hope it's just a correction or some default of some country or something like that. But so anyway, as for tomorrow, we'll see. You know, basically we're looking at this line right here, this 1195. There's the breaking point. All right. Good luck, everyone, and stay safe, especially those in California.